Cam, we just heard Tom Petrosky talk about that Congress deadlock. A $2 trillion package. What is the problem? What's holding it up?
It was really extraordinary scenes this morning, Laura, in the Senate. The senators literally yelling at each other about the passing of this $2 trillion package. I mean, that is just absolutely massive. The bottom line is pretty much an ideological one. The Democrats believe that the Republican package is too soft on big corporations, is going to try and bail out big corporations without any safeguards. And they also believe that the package is a problem as far as workers are concerned. They say that the ordinary worker and health workers are not being looked after well enough. Republicans say, I can't believe you're debating this at this minute because, you know, the markets are going nuts and you really need to get instant solutions in place. Now, look, I mean, I think we're going to have a very fractious argument for the next 7 or 8 hours, but you'd be very surprised if there wasn't a package being passed at the end of the day because, you know, as the Republicans have said as well as Democrats, this is just too important for them to debate politics on such a massive issue at such a crucial time.
Yeah, it's a very dangerous game to play, and it's not one that the left of politics have engaged in here in Australia and getting that support package through Parliament last night. Looking at the United States, we saw some individual states go into early lockdowns, such as California. 40 million people was told to essentially stay in their homes. We now see the infection rate soar right across the US, up 20 to 25% overnight?
It's remarkable, Laura. Yes, a 25% increase in infections and deaths in one day. There's now over 40,000 infections in the United States and just over 500 deaths. That's 10 times what it was a week ago. Now, look, part of this, of course, is the fact that the United States was very, very slow to test people and is only just catching up on that at the moment. So part of that almost vertical rise, if you like, is the testing. But clearly there is a lot of spread as well. And we're seeing real hotspots emerge. In the last 24, 48 hours, New York is quite clearly the biggest concern in America. I mean, it is just racing ahead in New York with infections and deaths. And of course, it's a very difficult city, New York City, to quarantine people, to self-isolate in tiny apartments. You know, it's a real challenge for the authorities to do that. And so the US is certainly facing some fairly nervous days. The Surgeon General today, US Surgeon General, said that this is going to be a very, very bad week because this is when you're really going to get a clearer picture of how bad it is across the US.
Certainly, and Donald Trump, in all of that, knowing around the world we have examples. Europe is 2 weeks ahead of us. America's really 2 weeks ahead of us here in Australia as well, and there's been an emphasis on social distancing, but Donald Trump seems to be concerned about how this is affecting the economy.
Yeah, it was very interesting. Late last night, Laura, Donald Trump put out a tweet saying we cannot let the cure be worse than the problem. Now, he's been under a bit of pressure from various advisors in the White House to consider the fact that this is the world's biggest economy. It is grinding to an almost instant halt with enormous ramifications for ordinary Americans and the rest of the world. And some questions are being asked, well, look, you know, really, we can't afford to have this economy just grind to a complete halt. You know, so if social distancing is all very well, but in what Trump is saying is when the 2-week original window is up for that, he's going to review the policy and see what happens. But the bottom line, of course, is health professionals say that you need the social distancing. So it's a real conundrum that the president finds himself in, balance between trying to keep the economy from completely tanking over here and, of course, try to stop or at least slow the spread of the virus.
Well, the numbers of infections really speak for themselves. As you say, it's 10 times what it was a week ago. Just quickly, Harvey Weinstein and Amy Klobuchar's husband apparently infected.
That's right. I mean, it's reported with Weinstein. It hasn't been confirmed, but he's certainly in isolation in the jail in relation to his health. That's all we really know. But yes, I mean, look, you know, and we had the Senator Rand Paul yesterday, as you say, Amy Klobuchar's husband. I mean, it's certainly a virus that doesn't pick and choose. It affects anyone that is unlucky enough to get it.
Yep, it does not discriminate. Cam, stay safe over there. Good to see you. We'll speak to you soon.